The big question has been for a lot of Auburn fans, when is the spring football transfer portal going to give us something good to talk about in terms of adding someone? Well, we finally have that happen with a brand new transfer. Let's talk about who that is and what it means for Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers. War Eagle, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Kyle here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. As you're watching or listening today about this particular topic, be sure to drop a comment down below. It'll help enter you into this ongoing subscriber giveaway for a signed Auburn football prize package. Details are listed in the description link. And as always, we do want to thank members of our booster club like Linda Bird, who help produce videos like this. I know a lot of you have been waiting for one of these videos because it meant that there was something good to talk about with the spring transfer portal, other than people leaving the Auburn football program, which we've talked about a lot here, and we'll probably talk about some significant ones here pretty soon too. But for now, we are talking about an addition in the spring transfer portal. Jalen McLeod of App State has decided to commit to the Auburn Tigers. He comes in with technically 1 year of eligibility, but probably still has that COVID year additionally he could use if he chooses to do so. And he's the first transfer to decide to come to Auburn and be part of the upcoming year since January, when we were going through all of that recruiting cycle. We always like to talk about the timeline of events, about what brought us to the point of this commitment. Well, let's talk about it from the very beginning, when he signed with App State back in December of 2019 and then enrolled the following summer to get going for the 2020 year. Spent the last 3 seasons with the Appalachian State Mountaineers and had a really great season, as we all followed and saw in college football last year, but did enter the transfer portal on April 27th of 2023, just a few days ago. Not even a week he was in there. And after a weekend visit with the Auburn Tigers, we all saw the coaches dropping hints for this one coming, and we know what we're talking about now. So now let's talk a little bit about this player so that you know who is coming to be a part of our team. Currently listed at about 220, 6'2" in height, a linebacker slash edge prospect. He was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school, and that pretty much maintains even in the transfer portal now, and obviously came from App State, but his original hometown was in Washington, D.C. Very quickly, let's talk about some stats from his 3 seasons that he spent as part of the Appalachian State Mountaineers teams. During that time, he totaled 75 total tackles, 9 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, which also was a fumble recovery too. So some pretty nice stats that he's bringing to the table as part of this roster. So a few storylines around this commitment. As we've already addressed, he's the first of the spring transfer portal opening to come into Auburn. A lot of people have left. We've gotten a little antsy, let's be honest, but this should make you feel better. And who knows, maybe it'll make some other prospects out there go ahead and pull the trigger and decide to commit to Auburn. Now that you know a little bit about the player, let's talk about what it means for the Auburn Tigers. And we start off by talking about a numbers game. What does the makeup of the class look like as a whole for 2023? It's been a little while since we've talked about this, since the last time we pretty much discussed that was January, maybe early February. Now with this transfer, 34 total commits and the 13th total transfer. And depending on where he plays for the Tigers, most people expect him to play edge. He could be the 3rd linebacker or the 4th edge commit of this class. Now let's talk about his future. What are his opportunities for playing time when he comes to Auburn? And usually transfers, when they come in, they're pretty much expecting to play some, if not have a really good chance at starting. And with a guy as experienced as he is at the Division I level, you got to think he stands a pretty good chance to start. Just think about it this way. You lost Derek Hall, Iku Leota, and now even Dylan Brooks, who has entered the transfer portal to leave Auburn. That's a lot of open space. Now, that's been filled already, technically, with the additions of Elijah McAllister, Brenton Williams, Keldrick Falk, but you still need some more depth. So him coming in here, obviously with the experience, probably puts him in a good position to find some pretty decent playing time early on. Very briefly, let's talk about regional discussions in terms of recruiting. Where are these guys coming from? We had mentioned he comes from the Washington, D.C. area, and it would be the first of this particular class. You don't see Auburn going up there a whole lot into that region to pluck people out of there. It happens occasionally, but not a lot. Always good to build those relationships. And even though he's not from North Carolina, we are taking him from App State. He would be the 2nd person technically from North Carolina alongside Avery Jones in this class. And finally, what does this commitment mean for the class makeup going forward, particularly at this position? We've already talked about who left, who's already come in, and with his addition, you really got to look at the edge position and feel like for the most part, it's pretty well filled out, and probably is the same case if you talk about him as a traditional linebacker. But again, most people would consider him to be edge. So while I don't think there's anyone else out there right now that everybody's just saying, oh, he's getting ready to commit, wouldn't be shocked if there's something else that comes in terms of a depth piece later on down the line. So those are my thoughts on Jalen McLeod, your new transfer addition for Auburn football in 2023. Want to know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure to do that to enter into that subscriber giveaway, and you need to be subscribed, so make sure you take care of that as well. Check out those links in the description for ways that you can help support us here at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. War Eagle.